Since Live 12 introduced MIDI tools, I've been looking for ways to really improve my workflow with them. I also had high hopes for custom Max for Live devices focused on MIDI tools, and well, let me get this straight. Majority of them are cool if you want to impress music nerds, but I wouldn't call them useful when it comes to producing real tracks. Luckily, I found ones that are really made for it. But let's start from the top. We got two new MIDI devices focused on MPE. First one is glissando, and don't let the music term fool you. It's just a fancy name for gliding notes. So to use it and know what you're doing, first you need to change the tab for MPE, and then you can highlight all the notes and simply click transform. Let's use it with a purpose in mind. So once again, let's just press transform for those two. That already sounds better, but obviously you can adjust the curve however you want, and you can adjust the start point. But once you try it on chords, the results might be way better. So let's work with this pad line and highlight all the notes, then just press transform. I think highlighting all the notes is a little bit too much, so let's undo this and just focus on those top ones. But the real fun starts with the second transform tool, LFO. As you can see, it has three modes: pitch, bend, slide, and pressure. But for this example, let's focus on pitch. So as you can see, for now, it's just a regular LFO, and let's just check how it sounds. I mean, cool, but to make the real vibrato effect for this lead, I think I will go and try the attack and decay times. So let me just decrease the attack. Obviously, you can change the rate to however fast you want. And you can also shape this LFO, try out different LFO shapes. So as you can see, with those tools, you can transform the basic lead line into something that actually sounds a little bit more lively. But that's just only a simple automation for pitch. I actually find it way useful to modulate sound. So I made a simple Reese bass patch in Faceplant, and while I was making it, I found that it will be actually really cool to automate, for example, the frame of this wavetable. And we can also automate the cutoff of this filter as well, and also the sync for the side. As you can see, I applied the pressure modulator. Once I get to the MIDI part of this Reese bass, I can actually turn LFO to adjust the pressure. That's too fast. So that sounds cool. Let's just leave this note clean, and for the third one, just apply the same LFO. Maybe just increase the amount of this LFO, and let's just try to delay it a little bit. I also promised you a tool which is really made for songwriting. Don't worry, it's not the stock stack generator, although it got improved with some more variations. Just to clarify, the devices I'm gonna show you don't need 12.1 beta. You can use them natively in Live 12. So the first one is surprisingly named chords. And the idea here is simple. Write any chord progression you like, and voila. It also handles really complex chords, like for example this one. Or maybe let's just try something more complex. I know that not everyone needs to be friends with music theory, but there are a lot of websites with different chord progressions, and you can also ask our friend How 9000.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I mean ChatGPT, to come up with something useful. But it doesn't end there. You can add bass notes, change the duration of chords, but let's just stick with 4 for now. You can make them more playable and choose between voice leading, which is actually really cool to make top melodies. But I get it, sometimes you simply don't have any idea for chord progression, and that's what the second tool is for. But before I show it to you, the developer reached out to me and offered a discount code for my subscribers. By any means, it's not a sponsored video. I just checked those tools and I really like them. So if you have the same feelings, the links are down in the description. Progressions is quite similar to chords, but instead of writing them, you can choose between different chord progressions. There are obviously some simple ones as well as a little bit more complex ones, so let me just try out this one. But first, you need to choose a scale, so for me that's gonna be the minor scale, and let's just go with the key of this whole session, which is D, and maybe change to a different progression for now. And you can choose the complexity of those chords. You can go with simple triads or something a little bit more tasteful. Now, before trained musicians will put me to stake, my last words are, chords and progressions are just tools. The uniqueness lies in sound selection, arrangement, and rhythm. And speaking of rhythm, progressions also have this cool rhythm option where you can basically come up with different patterns. You can choose whichever you like. Or click this randomize button. Randomize also works for the progression itself. But don't get me wrong, it's not that stock transformers and generators are bad. You can actually come up with some quite cool ideas with them and make it really fast, but only